The ratings for the March 21st episode have finally been released, but the delay itself has become just as important as the numbers. Usually, viewers expect ratings to come out early in the week, often by Tuesday or Wednesday. This time, however, the numbers came much later, closer to the weekend. That unexpected delay immediately caught attention and started a wave of questions. People began wondering what could be happening behind the scenes and why something so routine suddenly changed. When the numbers were finally revealed, they showed an increase compared to the previous episode. The show gained around 44,000 viewers, bringing the total to about 314,000. On the surface, that looks like good news. An increase is always better than a drop. It suggests that more people tuned in and that interest may still be there. But when you look deeper, the situation becomes more complex. Just 1 week before, the ratings had dropped to around 270,000 viewers. That was a noticeable dip, especially when compared to earlier episodes. Before that drop, the show had reached around 333,000 viewers after returning from a break. This pattern of going up, then down, then slightly up again creates a sense of instability. It does not show steady growth, and it does not show consistent decline either. Instead, it shows fluctuation, and that is what has people talking. Fluctuations in ratings often mean that the audience is unsure. Some viewers may tune in 1 week out of curiosity, but skip the next if they feel less interested. This kind of behavior usually points to a deeper issue with engagement. It raises the question of whether the show is truly holding the audience's attention or simply pulling them back temporarily with certain moments or storylines. Another important factor is the emotional connection viewers have with the show. In reality television, people do not just watch for drama. They watch because they feel connected to the cast and their stories. When that connection is strong, viewers come back every week without hesitation. But when that connection starts to weaken, even slightly, it can affect the ratings. Some viewers have mentioned that their interests changed when certain key figures were no longer featured as much. Whether that is true for everyone or just a portion of the audience, it still plays a role in the overall conversation. When familiar faces are less visible or when storylines shift focus, it can change how viewers feel about the show. There's also growing discussion about how the storytelling itself has changed. Earlier seasons are often remembered as more natural and organic. The interactions felt real, and the drama seemed to unfold on its own. Recently, however, some viewers feel that the drama appears more planned or structured. While reality television always includes some level of production, audiences can usually tell the difference between something that feels genuine and something that feels forced. When viewers begin to notice repetition, predictability, or similar conflicts happening again and again, their interest can slowly fade. They may still watch, but with less excitement. This can lead to inconsistent ratings, where some episodes perform well while others do not. The delayed release of ratings has added another layer to the situation. Some people believe the delay could be due to technical reasons, such as including more viewing data from recordings or streaming platforms. Others think it could be a sign that the network is taking extra time to review the numbers more carefully. There is no confirmed reason, but the delay itself has become part of the story. Despite all these concerns, the show is still performing better than others on the same network. It remains the top program in terms of viewership. Other shows on the network are bringing in much lower numbers, with some reaching only around 160,000 viewers. This means that even with its ups and downs, the show is still leading in its category. However, being number one does not always mean everything is perfect. Many longtime viewers compare the current ratings to earlier seasons, and they notice a difference. In the past, the show may have had stronger and more stable numbers. This comparison leads to ongoing debates about whether the show is growing, staying the same, or slowly losing its original strength. One noticeable change in recent episodes is the increased focus on family scenes. In earlier seasons, these moments added depth and balance to the show. They allowed viewers to see a softer and more personal side of the cast. Recently, there has been a return to this style, with more family-centered content appearing on screen. For some viewers, this is a positive change. It makes the show feel more real and relatable. It also helps balance out the drama, giving the audience a chance to connect with the cast on a deeper level. However, others question why these scenes were not as prominent before and why they are being highlighted now. This brings attention to another issue, which is how storylines are chosen and presented. When viewers feel that certain parts of the story are being emphasized more than others, they start to question the fairness and balance of the show. This can lead to discussions and even disagreements among fans. Cast relationships are another major factor affecting the show's performance. Over time, viewers become familiar with patterns between different individuals. They notice who gets along, who argues, and how those relationships change. When the same conflicts keep happening without real progress, it can start to feel repetitive. Some viewers have pointed out that recent episodes seem less connected. The interactions between cast members may not feel as natural as they once did. This can make scenes feel less engaging and reduce the overall impact of the show. Conflict is a big part of reality television, but it needs to evolve. Viewers expect to see some kind of resolution or growth. When arguments continue without any real outcome, it can become frustrating. People want to see change, not just the same issues being repeated. Another important aspect is the balance between personal stories and group dynamics. A strong show usually mixes both. It gives viewers insight into individual lives while also showing how everyone interacts as a group. When one side becomes too dominant, the show can feel unbalanced. Some viewers feel that recent episodes focus too much on past issues instead of introducing new developments. This can make the storyline feel stuck, as if it is not moving forward. Fresh content is important to keep the audience interested and engaged. Transparency also plays a key role in how viewers connect with the show. When cast members openly share their lives, it creates trust and interest. But when viewers feel that certain topics are being avoided, it can lead to speculation. People begin to wonder what is not being shown and why. The introduction of new personalities can also affect ratings. New cast members bring fresh energy and new perspectives. However, it takes time for viewers to connect with them. If the introduction is not handled well, it can feel awkward or forced. At the same time, longtime viewers often compare new cast members to the original ones. They may feel that the original group had a stronger connection or better chemistry. Balancing old and new elements is always a challenge for any long-running show. Production style is another topic that has gained attention. Today's viewers are more aware of how shows are made. They notice editing choices, scene transitions, and how stories are presented. When something feels off or inconsistent, they quickly pick up on it. Social media also plays a huge role in shaping opinions. Viewers share their thoughts instantly, creating ongoing discussions about each episode. Popular moments can go viral, while less interesting ones may be quickly forgotten. This constant feedback can influence how the show is perceived. Ratings are not just numbers, they reflect how people feel about the show. A rise in ratings may show renewed interest, while a drop may indicate dissatisfaction. But to truly understand what is happening, both numbers and viewer opinions need to be considered together. At this point, the show appears to be in a transitional phase. It is not failing, but it is also not as strong as it once was. The fluctuations suggest that changes may be needed to maintain long-term success. The delayed ratings have only added more curiosity to the situation. Whether the delay was due to technical reasons or something else, it has kept the conversation going. People are paying attention, analyzing every detail, and trying to understand what comes next. As new episodes continue to air, viewers will keep watching closely. They will compare ratings, discuss storylines, and share their opinions. The future of the show will depend on how well it adapts to these reactions. For now, the latest numbers show a small improvement, but they do not tell the full story. The real question is whether this improvement can continue or if it is just a temporary spike. Consistency will be the key to long-term success. In the end, audience perception matters just as much as ratings. People want to feel connected, entertained, and invested. If the show can rebuild that strong connection, it has the potential to grow again. If not, the pattern of fluctuation may continue. The conversation is far from over. Each new episode will bring new reactions, new discussions, and new questions. And as always, the audience will be watching closely, waiting to see what happens next.